Todd Chrisley skipped out on many owed debts and bills. Todd Chrisley skipped out on several owed debts over the years before he ended up in court for tax evasion. This was learned thanks to the court documents for the Chrisley legal case, which are online and available for people to see. Here is a look at the debts left behind for Chrisley over the past few years. Todd Chrisley owed a lot of people money. Todd Chrisley went on trial for tax evasion charges. However, thanks to the evidence brought into the case, people learned how many people Chrisley skipped out on paying over the years. These documents are available to see on the Court Listener website, which has the actual court documents linked from PACER. In the 305th document from the case, there were several attachments that listed the past debts that Chrisley owed to people. This included people who worked for him, people who he contracted, and even his own attorneys. Here is a look at what these documents showed. Bill Abbott was a witness for the defense in the case, sworn in to testify on June 1, 2022, via document 222. During the cross-examination portion of his testimony, Abbott revealed several things about past Chrisley debts. This included the contractors and subcontractors that worked on their home that they reportedly refused to pay. According to the court reports, one contractor emailed them and said they wanted to continue the construction but couldn't until they received payment. They received no response. An architecture firm reportedly also emailed them asking for payment so they can continue their work, and also received no response. Abbott also testified that a web developer emailed Chrisley an invoice for $28,000 owed, and Todd reportedly refused to pay. There were also other vendors that sent emails that Chrisley ignored. There was also a professional appraiser hired to inventory and value a warehouse full of furniture. When he finished and billed for payment, Chrisley reportedly said not to pay her. Annie Kate Pons helped Todd Chrisley get his TV show on the air, and he reportedly owed her $10,000, which he also never paid. Todd Chrisley didn't even pay his attorneys. When Todd Chrisley went to court to fight his tax evasion charges, he clearly needed an attorney. However, this was tough since Chrisley also didn't pay them. Robert Fuhr testified that Chrisley owed him $200,000. He didn't pay this money until they needed him to testify for them. He didn't testify until the overdue balance was paid. Laren Rogers was the attorney who helped Chrisley set up the 7 Seas Productions. He testified he stopped working for them because they never paid their bills. His own law firm had to sue Chrisley to get the $50,000 for legal services provided. Todd Chrisley, the once charismatic patriarch of Chrisley Knows Best, became synonymous with luxury living and high society charm. However, beneath the surface of his extravagant lifestyle lies a murky history of financial escapades that tell a very different story. While Chrisley's quick wit and over-the-top personality captivated audiences, his alleged habit of dodging financial obligations painted a picture of a man who was far more entangled in monetary chaos than the perfect image he projected. The rise of a reality TV mogul. Todd Chrisley burst into the public eye as the wealthy, sharp-toned head of the Chrisley family, showcasing their sprawling Atlanta mansion and designer-clad lives. His flair for humor and eye for opulence made him a relatable yet aspirational figure for millions of fans. Yet behind the perfectly curated facade was a lifestyle many have speculated was built more on credit and borrowed time than genuine wealth. As episodes of the reality show aired, Todd often joked about his love for luxury, his disdain for mediocrity, and his penchant for living fabulously or not at all. Yet for those keeping a close eye on his off-screen dealings, it became evident that Chrisley's fabulous life might have been a house of cards. Reports began surfacing about unpaid debts, lawsuits, and financial mismanagement that painted a starkly different picture. the bills that never got paid. Over the years, Todd Chrisley's financial troubles have been well documented, particularly as they spilled into public record through lawsuits and creditor complaints. Among the most notable claims are unpaid bills to contractors, designers, and vendors who once helped Todd maintain the luxurious lifestyle he flaunted. In one infamous case, a contractor who worked on the Chrisley family's Atlanta home alleged they were never paid for their services, leaving behind unpaid invoices totaling tens of thousands of dollars. The irony of a reality star preaching perfection while allegedly skipping out on obligations was not lost on critics. Similarly, a high-end designer who outfitted Todd's wardrobe claimed they were left chasing payments for months. When asked about it, Todd dismissed the accusations, calling them misunderstandings or disgruntled vendors. Yet the pattern of unpaid debts only seemed to grow as Todd's fame rose. A lifestyle funded by loans and promises. Financial experts and reality TV analysts have speculated that Todd's lifestyle was heavily subsidized by loans and credit rather than sustainable income. His larger-than-life purchases, including multiple luxury homes, high-end vehicles, and a never-ending rotation of designer wardrobes, were often juxtaposed against reports of lawsuits, liens, and mounting debts. One striking case involved a $45 million bankruptcy filing in which Todd and his wife Julie allegedly owed significant amounts to creditors while maintaining their TV star image. As court documents revealed, the Chrisleys owed everything from back taxes to unpaid loans and credit card bills. Despite this, they continued to live in grandeur, sparking questions about how they were funding their daily lives. The consequences of avoidance. Avoiding bills might seem like an easy out, but it came at a significant cost to Todd's reputation. As legal battles mounted, creditors sought justice, filing lawsuits against Todd, and at times his entire family. In a highly publicized case, Todd was accused of failing to pay back a loan that he allegedly used to fund real estate ventures. The lender eventually filed a lawsuit, citing fraud and breach of contract. Todd denied wrongdoing, but the case raised eyebrows as it mirrored the pattern seen in many of his financial disputes. Adding fuel to the fire was Todd's alleged failure to pay taxes on several occasions. This culminated in a federal indictment against him and Julie for tax evasion and bank fraud in 2019. While Todd claimed the charges were baseless and blamed a former employee for fabricating evidence, the case revealed a history of questionable financial practices that had gone unnoticed for years. A family affected. Todd's financial woes did more than tarnish his reputation. They also cast a shadow over his family. While Todd was often the face of the scandals, his wife Julie, and even their children, were occasionally dragged into the fray. Reports of unpaid school tuition, unsettled credit card balances, and disputes over luxury items left the Chrisley name mired in controversy. At one point, it was alleged that even minor financial responsibilities, like utilities or medical bills, had been neglected. Former employees of the family claimed they had witnessed the couple juggling bills and creditors, often prioritizing image-related expenses over necessary ones. The public's reaction. Fans of Chrisley Knows Best were initially sympathetic to Todd, chalking up the accusations to misunderstandings or exaggerated claims by jealous outsiders. But as more evidence emerged, including court documents and testimonies, the tide began to turn. Many questioned Todd's unwavering confidence in denying all wrongdoing, even when faced with overwhelming evidence. It's hard to root for someone who seems to have no intention of making things right, one fan wrote on social media during the height of the bankruptcy scandal. Others, however, argued that Todd's struggles were a reflection of broader issues in reality television, where stars often feel pressured to maintain appearances, even at the cost of financial stability. What's next for Todd Chrisley? Todd Chrisley's financial troubles are far from over. While he and Julie currently face time behind bars for fraud convictions, questions remain about how they'll address the numerous debts left in their wake. Critics have pointed out that Todd's penchant for deflecting blame and avoiding responsibility may catch up to him once and for all. For many, Todd's story serves as a cautionary tale of living beyond one's means. The allure of fame and fortune can be powerful, but when it's built on a foundation of unpaid bills and mounting debts, the crash can be devastating. Whether Todd can bounce back remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. The bills have come due, and the world is watching. As fans and creditors alike await the next chapter in Todd Chrisley's saga, the reality star faces the monumental task of reconciling his public persona with the harsh financial realities he has long avoided. Will Todd finally pay his debts and rebuild his life? Or will this tangled web of unpaid bills continue to unravel? Only time will tell.